Hello, welcome to 30 Days of IBS Foods. Today is all about parsnips. These are a delicious root vegetable that many people overlook. Probably they just don't think about them. They're not as common as carrots. We tend to just have them with a roast dinner, and we don't often eat parsnips as much as we should. And so you maybe don't realise that they are really suitable for people who have IBS or a sensitive digestion because they're low FODMAP. So you can have a good portion of these delicious, healthy, starchy vegetables. These are something I return to quite often when I'm trying to expand my clients' diets. Most people with IBS tend to be okay with carrots and be quite comfortable with carrots. But with parsnips, it feels different. They obviously are a little bit different, but maybe because they're not such a familiar vegetable, it feels like it's something extra. So I do encourage you to have a look at parsnips next time you go to the supermarket. So let's find out a bit about why they're so good for us and how they might be affecting your gut. Parsnips, as well as containing good levels of fibre, also have a good level of potassium. Now, this is a key nutrient for helping support our heart health, such as lowering blood pressure. When we have enough potassium in our body, it helps to relax our blood vessels, opening them up, allowing the blood to flow better, which can reduce your blood pressure if you have high blood pressure. So we want to make sure we're getting a good mix of high potassium foods throughout each day, throughout each week. It's not about cramming it all into one go and eating it all in one meal. It's just adding that to your body over the day really, really helps to support your heart. So potassium rich foods are very important, and most fruits and vegetables contain some. So we don't need to go wild for it, and we definitely don't need to necessarily supplement with them, but just adding a variety of fruits and vegetables will help you meet these targets throughout the day and throughout the week. So one parsnip could give you around 3.5 grams of fibre. That is pretty good for a small amount of food. And remember, we're trying to get to around 25 to 30 grams of fibre per day. So this is kind of 1/10 of your fibre intake in just one portion, which is a really good mix as well of insoluble and soluble fibre. So the soluble fibre becomes good fodder for your good gut microbes. We want to keep feeding them to create something called short chain fatty acids. These are anti-inflammatory, really helpful for the colon cells, and they love this type of fibre. There's also insoluble fibre, which is what creates the bulk and keeps the gut moving. So parsnips are a great balance of both. And because they're low FODMAP, they're not rapidly fermentable. So they're not going to create a whole lot of gas pretty quickly like some other root vegetables. If you're thinking about how to eat parsnips and you don't really have them very often, then what I suggest is having a tray of roasted mixed root vegetables. It's a delicious way to get some variety in. So you can have sweet potato, carrots, butternut squash. Now, butternut squash and sweet potato are portion dependent if you're following the FODMAP diet restrictions. But for other people, you just want to bulk up your fibre variety, the different nutrients that you're getting exposed to. Chopping all of these things in, putting a nice tray of roasted vegetables is a great way to do this. You can then keep those vegetables in the fridge and have them with some fried eggs for lunch. You could mix it with some grains, like some ready cooked rice packets. If you are okay with chickpeas, you could put in some pulses as well, or a tin of chickpeas, or you can just add it to another meal that you're already making throughout the week. So I love doing a tray of roasted veg and then keeping it for either like a warm salady type meal with a mix of different grains and vegetables, or you can just have it on the side, like I said, with some protein. And it's a really quick and easy way to have a lunch ready made for you. The other way you can eat parsnips, of course, is to mash them. And a lot of people have that. It's quite a creamy sort of mash in the place of where you might have mashed potatoes, so on the side of a dish. I hope that's given you a little insight into why parsnips are good for your digestion and how they may affect you.